Hi, I'm Shay with Homespinning, and today we're going to be discussing Miquon Math Labs. For a more detailed review of Miquon Math Labs, you can go to my website, homespinning.weebly.com. Today we're going to do a basic overview of Miquon Math Labs and give you a visual idea of what it is. Miquon Math Labs is a series of 6 consumable workbooks which span over the course of 3 years. It can be used kindergarten through 2nd, or more appropriately, 1st through 3rd. You will also have to purchase Cuisenaire rods. Because it uses Cuisenaire rods, you don't want to skip the first book. The first book might be basic for many of your students, but that's how they're going to learn how to use the Cuisenaire rods and what numeric value they each have. It's a very simple concept to pick up, so you don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but it is important that when they see a red cube, they automatically think 2, because they're going to be using these for learning at least half of the concepts within Miquon. There's a teacher's book, which I didn't purchase, and I've had no problems not having purchased it, and a lab sheets annotation book. Now, if I open the lab sheets annotation book, you're going to find a chart that shows each of the concepts, the order the concepts are taught, which book the concepts are in, and it gives a letter for each concept. Everything in Miquon is alphabetized. Miquon is a spiral program, and you can start with the first book, go through it, cover the concepts, go to the second book. What I do is I do 2 books at a time. So I take the first 2 books and I'll do AA, BB, CC, DD, so on and so forth for whichever topics those books cover, because I feel like the spirals are very, very short, and I think they need to be covered a little bit more in depth before moving on. So I have that option. You also have the option to use it as a mastery program because it's alphabetized. So instead of going book by book, you can go concept by concept. A, then B, then C, so on and so forth. Now, everything in the lab sheet annotations is alphabetized. Before I get into this, I want to let you know that when I first purchased this and I had it in my hands for the first time, I freaked out a little bit. It seemed incredibly confusing to me, and I wanted something simple, and this did not seem simple. I want to tell you that it is actually very simple. I had to watch a couple YouTube tutorials that lasted 10-15 minutes, and after doing that and getting through our first couple lessons, I realized it's very easy. It's mostly open and go. My daughter spends an average of 15 minutes on each lesson, which is what you want. You want short, concise lessons at the primary age, but you do occasionally have to go into the lab sheet annotations. This is not something you will use every day. Majority of it is open and go. But if you do find yourself in a situation where you don't understand what it's asking or how to explain the concepts, everything in these books is alphabetized. So, this is one that my daughter's already completed, but if we didn't understand what we were supposed to do on this page, then we would go to G19. Everything in here is alphabetical. It's not by which book you're in, but by what concept you're on. So I would just alphabetically go to G, go to 19, and it would tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do. So I could just come here and it's going to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Occasionally the directions are a little bit confusing, but we haven't really had any problems. My daughter has very easily learned every concept that it's taught her. Something that's great about Miquon is that it's versatile. So like I said, you can do a spiral, you can do a shorter range spiral or a longer range spiral. You can do it as a mastery program, but also you can use the Cuisenaire rods or you cannot. Now you're going to want to use them because you want your child to fully understand the concepts that you're working on. But once they visually have an understanding of what it is you're working on, They can do it in their head if they want to. They can write it down. They can use the visuals. So it makes it a much more diverse program. I hope that this answered a lot of questions you may have had about Miquon. If not, you can go to my website, homespinning.weebly.com, and read my full review. Thank you for watching.